fairy tale for Inter Miami and Lionel Messi, and that is his 42nd career title. That makes him the winningest man in sport history. Top flight football. He also won at a youth level with Argentina. He overpasses his former teammate Dani Alves, but that number here is just incredible. 42 career titles for Lionel Messi. He came, he saw, and he conquered.
Yeah, you know, I was joking about it during the penalty kick shootout, how funny and how cool it is to see Messi nervous, anxious in a shootout, in a Leagues Cup shootout against Nashville SC. Of all the venues that he's been to, of all the situations he has been in, World Cup champion, Copa America, Champions League, at the biggest of moments, and here he is in Nashville, and he looks tense, he looks nervous. He's cheering his teammates on in a PK shootout. It kind of just blew my mind. I'd love to sit here and say, you know, that the game won, soccer won. But sometimes it's not like that. If you're a Nashville fan, you would say, well, this should have been our moment. You know, we presented some very good football throughout the tournament. We did it the hard way. Look where we're at. Look at the road to get here. But Inter Miami, with everything they were struggling with and up against, came into this tournament and were a completely different team. Now, I say that metaphorically and I say that literally. Because if you look at who started some of these games to how they finished, the complexion was different. Every 3 days, they were announcing a different player. The first game against Cruz Azul, Messi doesn't start. Busquets doesn't start. Jordi Alba wasn't there. Diego Gomez wasn't there. Some of these players that they're integrating into the system, we've not seen yet, like Tomás Áviles or Facundo Farias, their new signing. And this team just keeps getting better. And they got better at the right times, and Tata Martino pressed the right buttons, and you have to give lots of credit to Gary Smith and Nashville SC and what they did and how fun they were to watch. But, man, from the get-go, this was just Messi's tournament.
So let's talk about the game itself. Every single Inter Miami game so far was action-packed. Inter Miami scoring fast, 5 goals in the first 15 minutes of Leagues Cup. A lot of goals, a lot of action. But then in the end, some exceptions, but they were really dominant all along the games. But the second half especially, even without opportunity of Messi hitting the post, it felt like it was Nashville's there to lose.
Yeah.
What happened in that second half? Was it that Inter Miami got exhausted, tired? But it was a really intense and dramatic game.
Well, you've got to take care of your opportunities. There's an opportunity in the second half, around the 70th or so minute, where Hani Mukhtar is driving with the ball and slips Sam Surridge a ball. And sure, it's a great save by Drake Callender, but it's one that you have to put away, one that changes the game. It changes the game for good. What we saw with Monterrey in the semifinal, how they ran out of legs and then Nashville just overtook them, is what I thought we were going to see, or what we started experiencing in the second half with Inter Miami. They started looking slower, not reacting as much. Maybe the fatigue started setting in. You have to remember, Messi's 36 years old. Busquets and Jordi Alba are entering their mid-30s.
They didn't have a preseason.
They didn't have a preseason. It's 7 games in about a 3-week span. It's a lot of different games, a lot of different type of environments and conditions, whether it be field or weather. It does impact the player. And I thought they would die out. I thought we were seeing the demise of Inter Miami. And then it just takes these brief moments where you realize I still have the greatest player who ever played the game on this earth still on this team. And while we heard this in the telecast, while Nashville may have been the better team or has the better team, Inter Miami has a better player.
That was the perception, at least towards the end of the game. The Nashville was the better team on that field. But now let's talk some more Messi, because after the semifinal against Philadelphia Union, we said on Futbol Americas, that one was Messi's worst game so far with Inter Miami. He scored, yes, but only 44 touches, and he didn't...
Least impactful.
Least impactful is the right way to put it. What about this game? How would you rate Messi's performance in the final?
I thought it was a typical Messi performance. You know, you don't think he's impacting the game until he does. And when he does, it's too late to react. I mean, the goal that Messi scores, Kramaski, like, literally got his head up and made the wrong play, and Messi was kind of like, oh. And he realizes that there's a deflection, and the ball comes to him, and it's not like it's terrible defending. Walker Zimmerman is the first one up, and they actually come to a close in a 50-50 ball that Messi wins.
He didn't want to foul him, clearly.
And then there's 4 other different players from Nashville that surround Messi, and Messi takes a touch, takes another touch, sees a sliver of an opening, and just bends it around where Panico can't do anything. I mean, you cannot guard this. He's straight unplayable. Anything you try to do, he sees the opening, he's going to take advantage of. He's that type of player, and that's the difference in these type of moments. Greatness defines these moments, and Messi just oozes that greatness.
We also spoke about how easy, quote-unquote easy, look for Messi all along the way so far. But I think this final tells a different story, because it was indeed a very competitive final. Again, 90 minutes for Lionel Messi, 55 touches. Those 3 shots on goal led the team, again, in 90 minutes, again, against Nashville. But I want to ask you this, because it feels like not only the people that follow really, really closely Major League Soccer or CONCACAF play, Liga MX, but there were a lot of eyes on this game that maybe for the first time are taking a look at this kind of action. How would you describe the game itself for those that watch at home?
I thought it was a great final, entertaining final. A lot of times finals are tense.
Yeah.
You know, they're boring. It's a gridlock. It's just kind of
a lot of unforced errors.
Yeah, exactly. I thought this was entertaining, in moments. Both teams play a conducive style, so there's. So, you know, you're a boxing fan. They say that styles make fights. This was a great fight to make because of the styles. One team that's going to sit, that's going to wait, be opportunistic, counter at pace in transition. Another team that likes to possess the ball, that has special players in the final third, that's going to want to open you up and find those and take risk to find those openings. It led to back and forth action from both teams. It led to great moments from Messi, Hani Mukhtar, Sam Surridge, Leonardo Campana at the end.
Oh, my God,
You saw some good defensive play. You saw some big goalkeeping moments. I thought it had it all. The only thing I was missing was a little VAR controversy, but I've had enough
No, I'm
of
so
VAR
glad.
controversy.
No, I'm so glad we didn't have that.
But I thought it was a very entertaining final. And to answer your question, if I'm a neutral and I see this, I'm seeing a sold-out Geodis Park, okay, to the gills. The largest soccer-specific stadium in the country. Sold out. And you're not seeing it sold out in a way that you thought you might see a stadium hosting Messi sold out where it's all pink. No, it's black and yellow. It's black and yellow cheering on Nashville, a team that knows exactly how they play, trying to take on the best player who's ever played the game. And for large portions of this game, you thought they were going to pull it off, and then greatness takes over in an individual moment or two from Lionel Messi, and game over.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.